I've always loved food, and good food takes a lot of hard work.
And a lot of hard work is what brought Edward Lee to where he is today.
We had Michelle Obama come in for dinner. She was super nice.
He's an award-winning chef, a former contestant on Bravo TV's Top Chef, a TV host, and author.
Books and TV are all great, but they happen because I'm a chef. So to me, being a chef is the most important role.
Barbecue shrimp toast.
We meet at one of his American Southern and Asian-inspired restaurants in downtown Washington. It's a building that's retained much of its historic character from the 1900s.
There was a lot of historic codes that we have to follow.
Today, the building stands tall as succotash.
I think the biggest danger is thinking that you've made it and that you're successful and that everything's great. You know, you have to constantly reinvent yourself, constantly push yourself and innovate and do new things.
Tell me about how you fell into food.
Well, I always knew I was going to be a chef, even when I was a little kid. I think I was 10 or 11 years old, and I told my parents that I was going to be a chef. So my father really didn't like that. And I understood it, from his standpoint. In Korea, being a chef basically meant you were a servant.
Born to immigrant parents from South Korea, his community growing up was just as diverse as his dishes.
It was interesting because my parents decided to move to an area in Brooklyn called Canarsie, which is not very Korean. They said, listen, we moved to America to be American, not to be Korean. The only difference was they moved to a neighborhood that was other immigrants. I was eating Caribbean food, Italian food, and Polish food, and Jamaican food, and Indian food when I was very young. And it didn't even seem like foreign food at the time. I think it helped a lot with identity too. You don't feel like an outsider if you're amongst a whole group of outsiders.
Mixing and combining food cultures and ingredients only comes naturally to the chef.
That's spicy. It's all spicy.
It's all spicy, okay.
Basic is fried chicken with a gochujang-based sauce, but we put some blue cheese, some fennel, some jalapenos. We take nori, or like dried seaweed, and then we cook it in simple syrup and deep fry it.
America is truly a melting pot. It's kind of a cliche to say that, but we sometimes forget that we are, and that just because one group has been here longer doesn't mean that they own the definition of America. And I think part of understanding the landscape of food is also understanding the landscape of culture in America.
And at times, understanding takes time. Lee's parents now realize their son wants to do more than just cook for others. He's building a brand.
It's funny because we used to get like New York Times or Wall Street Journal or New Yorker Magazine or do TV, and it never really impressed them. But then, I got an article on the cover of the Korea Times, newspaper, and they were like, oh my God, you finally made it. That was a bigger deal for them.
And they could tell all their Korean friends.
Well, yeah, because all their Korean friends would read it.
For Chef Lee, mentoring others is one way he defines and passes on success. He hopes to pave the way for others through his foundation, the Lee Initiative.
I don't think success is ever earned solo. Everyone needs help along the way.
So there will probably come a day when a young kid is like, Mom, I want to be like...
Yeah, I hope so.
Like him.
Who's this guy?
Connie Lee, CGTN, Washington.